So, you need to locate a building, so he winds up locating this building here. Right now, I just need a box of what space. Monday, I'll go over how to deal with this. I need to resubmit these, but, so this is an oval. That's the setback of the oval. This is the setback from the business building. So where's the building gonna sit in setback? So you wouldn't put a building right up against the sidewalk. That doesn't occur. You wouldn't put the building in the space, or in the space, or in the space, because it's in the space. It wants to be on the space. So this is an example of what people are submitting. I want you guys to do a preliminary one first, based on your analysis, because we're out of time. The class is over at 12:05, so I'm like, where am I gonna go in 10 minutes? And then why do you want to put them? And eventually put north, south, east, and west. Now, one day, after we do our quick analysis, I have to sit down and,
Sorry, can you say that again?
so just locate, where do you want, what space do you want to put your building? And where do you want to front it? And just draw north, south, east, and west, yes?
We only need one, we don't need like three.
No, just one. Monday, I'm gonna go through that lecture. And by the way, I took some time because I wanted to make sure that the representation of the project was up to speed, all right? I'm assuming in design one, you do plans and sections and elevations. No? Okay. But we relearn them. This is a much more complicated building, much more complicated than the stuff you were doing in design one, so yeah, maybe it's more challenging. It's certainly more spatial. So pick a public space and you can submit that. Monday, I'm going to come in and talk about how do you organize the building, how do you think about the public space, and how you think about the natural environment. So that you can do Sunday night for Monday, yes.
Do the four of us have to have the same location? or
No,
can-
everyone's doing an independent project, yes. Ryan, yes.
How much are the setbacks?
Well, so, good question. So let me give you a for example. So let's junk on here. Okay. So let's say, for example, let's say this is gonna be your space. So what you wanna do is, you're gonna map out So That may be your public space, that's the front of the building, that's the front of the building, that's the front of the building. Your building, you may decide wants to be placed here. Without dealing with scale a whole lot. Whoops. So this would be the building, and that would be the space. Right now, we want a preliminary idea. Let's say, for example, it's a little funky here. That may be the public space, and this may be your building. But don't worry about the parking, we can, let's say something like here. So you want to build it over here. Line. That's a setback line. Let's say I want to put an oval in. Oops. Front, 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 front. I don't have to worry if this is moved over. So where would I put a building that sat here? Oops. Somewhere here. Because I've got, this is a space here. That's the setback from that road, and I got the oval. If I move it closer to here, the problem is I'm in this corner setback. So this one has two sets of setbacks. So when I think of it, first I'm gonna map out the space, like where's the space? And I'm gonna put the building on the space, not in the space. That could be due Monday, that could be due Sunday night. So we'll take a look at that, because everyone's gonna be working on Project 10. Monday, I'm gonna come in and do a quick lecture on how to organize this building that has the sacred parts, has the sun problem, has this, the boxy functional stuff. So when I'm all done, there's a lot going on. It's complicated to organize it, and then once you organize it, the project gets to be simpler, because then you constrain it. And as soon as you constrain projects, especially ones that are this kind of free-flowing, as soon as you start constraining it, it becomes much more solvable. Without constraining the project properly, you're going to have a mess. So as a designer, I'm gonna tell you, this project, first one generates lots of ideas. The second one has this fit issue, getting that. This one, in addition to non-orthogonal, curvilinear shapes and forms. You're gonna learn how to constrain problems to solve them, because there's gonna be complex, wicked problems out there that you're gonna look at and you're like, how do I approach this? There's too much going on, it's overload. And if I didn't give you a strategy, I'd have what I'll even describe as a complete mess. It would take you 3 times as long as what you need, and we don't have that kind of time in your class. So I'm gonna say, this is how I would approach it as a constraint problem. And as soon as I constrain the thing, you're gonna be able to solve it easier. It's sort of like designing a house and someone's talking about, I wanna put windows in the wall, and I'm like, first let's put the room in the house. And then once the room's in the house, let's put some furniture in so the thing functions. Now all of a sudden the windows become obvious because they're highly constrained. They can only go in a couple spots. So is there really a lot of design to that constraint problem? Not anymore. But if you start out trying to solve the windows without solving the other thing, you're screwed. It's like, where do you put a door in a house? Yeah. So now, is design about this? Yeah, these wicked, hard, not obvious problems, like, you know, I need to put an addition on the back of my house and side yard setbacks and rear yard setbacks, and yeah, you can only put it in one spot. Well, that's not a lot of design. The project's constrained from the get-go, and there's no real, you know, there's no real design. It kind of just happens from the existing patterns and the what the site tells you where you can't go. All right, I know this all sounds too theoretical, but architectural design is really complicated stuff. You folks have, right now it's your first year essentially, and you know, you're just feeling it out. But if you like this stuff, yeah, that's one of the things that makes architecture not so